Nice 420 time.
Welcome, everyone, to the Fusion 80% Tournament Losers Bracket Round 2, featuring PhazonKnight versus HerculesBenchpress. I'm Rosso123, and I have a guest commentator with me. The man, the master, the best ZM runner ever known. He has strats named after him, Sam the Digital.
I'll have you know that I have routes named after me too.
And they're off. So PhazonKnight appears to have the lead, but he does have a 2-second delay advantage in the time versus Herc. I'm sure that will be adjusted soon.
So whoever has the lead early on definitely has a better tech smashing, right?
Absolutely. For the very first split between the start of the game and up to missiles, how fast you are depends on how quickly you can get through text. And obviously, you know, how you move rooms. But none of the rooms have any RNG that you have to be aware of. So at this point, it really just comes down to who mashes better.
Yeah, mashing is a really underrated skill too. A lot of people aren't very good at it.
So by virtue of having good text, PhazonKnight is still in the lead despite the time adjustment. You can see there. But that ledge grab just set him back. It's really important. Go ahead.
Do you know if ledge grabs are slower in this game compared to Zero Mission?
Absolutely. They are very slow. It costs you about half a second versus clearing over the platform. So you definitely want to avoid ledge grabbing if possible. Just like Herc ledge grabbed twice there, keeping PhazonKnight right behind him.
In this text, Adam tells you his life story. Basically, it's not very interesting.
I think Fusion is the first Metroid game that has a storyline, an actual like text storyline.
Yeah, probably.
Because like M1, M2, Super Metroid, they have story, but it's you learn it as you play the game. But in Fusion, you actually have story time.
Did Prime come before or after Fusion?
I don't know actually. I've never played or seen Prime.
Prime definitely has text in the story. Let me check real quick.
So definitely one of the unappealing parts of speedrunning Metroid Fusion is the text. But there are some upsides. I think the developers realized that having to hear the item jingle every time you pick up an item is extremely annoying, especially if you're doing 100%. So in Fusion and Zero Mission, whenever you pick up a major, any minor following after that are just really quick, hey, you pick this up. That's it. And you don't have to like fanfare cheer about it. Very nice fight from PhazonKnight there with 0 rolls to see if Herc... Oh. Herc getting 1 roll, however, PhazonKnight not executing the double here. Let's see if Herc can get this, and it looks pretty good. No sweet spot though, but Herc did manage to catch up there with the double. So PhazonKnight letting go of the advantage that he had.
So Prime was released a day earlier than Fusion.
Oh wow. Yeah, if you have a lead against Herc as PhazonKnight, because he does have a, I think it's a 52 or something like that on the leaderboard, and Herc with an unofficial 46, you definitely want to make sure that you stay in the lead if you do have the lead. Otherwise, you may find yourself digging a deep hole.
If I'm PK, I'm hoping that Herc pulls a dum-dum and dies. So, can you explain why PK gets the missile that Herc decides to skip?
Yeah. Getting the main deck missile kind of helps you out in Sector 1, where it's known to have tight missile management, especially if you're not very comfortable with Sector 1. And why that works is that because of how the drop mechanics work in this game, if you're not at full health, you probably won't get missiles. The chances are pretty low. And if you have full health, you'll always get missiles. So PhazonKnight picking up that extra main deck missile makes it so that in case he does get hit, he still has extra missiles to get through Sector 1. Where Herc is very experienced and does not need to pick it up because chances are he knows how to navigate through Sector 1. However, both runners right now still pretty close to each other. You know, it's still early in the game though. They've only gone through one Idor. Idor, the big race decider. Actually, they're synced right now. That's very interesting. Their movement is identical too.
Yeah, PK has that better tech smashing. You should work on that, Herc.
Ooh, PK getting hit by the missile barrier. Now with 69 health, 169 health, PhazonKnight will start seeing yellow X's, as you can see right there on the screen. That should have been a green X if he was full. But since he picked up the main deck missile, he still should be alright for missile count. However, both runners still somewhat synced, despite PhazonKnight's mistake. It may be because Herc might have had worse RNG for the stabilizer against Phazon.
I think PK also used a better strat for the... What is that room?
The Hornode room.
Yeah, Hornode room. It's not called the Spitter room?
No. The Spitter room is the room, the corridor just before Yakuza. Still really close between both runners here as they climb up the shaft with all the pirates. Oh, Phazon not able to get all those. Oh, and he actually does get all the green X's, so he's looking really good for missile count here. Herc also looking really good for missile count. Herc missing the double. Herc Phazon not almost completely missing the eye itself. Herc, no doubles here, no doubles on Phazon either, and it looks like Phazon will get the better RNG as he was right next to Herc. Did manage to catch up there. Let's see if Herc can pull off doubles here. He takes the first one. Phazon gets the first one. Herc with no doubles at all. Okay, so it looks like Phazon actually tanked all of them as well. Still really close. Similar door RNG, exactly same boss fight as both runners now are going to exit Sector 1.
I love the eye doors in this game, just saying.
Yeah, they're alright.
Gotta have some RNG in my life, right? So the reason why people keep this one for later is to have charge beam, right?
Yeah, although you have the charge beam for that stabilizer, although a lot of runners just shoot missiles at it anyway.
So to conserve missiles then is why they keep it for later?
Well, not necessarily. After destroying that stabilizer, you get a lot of chances to farm, like you can see there on Herc's side and Phazon in this room right now. That big amoeba-looking thing drops 2 parasites that you can pick up later. But I don't know. I mean, you have the charge beam, so you're supposed to be able to one-shot it with your charge beam, but a lot of runners still use missiles there. You know, I might actually time it and see if it's faster going there first.
If it does end up being faster, you could call a Ross strat.
Yeah. So now both runners are in Sector 2. Famous for its Zoros, a very dangerous enemy that could kill one of these runners if they're not careful. Zoros do 45 damage, and runners only have 199 max. So that means 5 hits and they're out.
And if Zoros are going towards you, and you want to go past them without stopping, you have to shoot your missiles really, really quickly to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily, the missile splash, or a mini explosion that you can see when it hits the wall or ground, is damage. Those are damage hit boxes. Herc taking a lot of hits so far. This is gonna allow PK to catch up. If Herc is not careful, we might see yet another death. So when a Zoro does crawl towards you, you can shoot earlier and use the explosion bit of the missile to damage the Zoro, and giving you more room to shoot a second missile. Both runners neck and neck as they head over to the bombs room. There should not be any more trouble after picking up the bombs. The Zoros should be out of the way at this point. PhazonKnight with an interesting strat there for that Zoro. Herc with really good RNG there. So did PhazonKnight. Those Zoros are out of the way so that it does not bother the runners. This race is still very interesting as both runners are about 2-3 seconds apart as we come up on one of the largest, heaviest RNG dependent boss in the game, Zazabi, who could lose you like up to, I don't know, 20 seconds if you get really bad RNG. So we'll see how that goes for both of these runners. Herc taking more damage this time from the pancakes, but he should be in the clear. One more room with a side hopper, and he will be home free.
So it looks like Herc opted for the one-time morph, whereas PhazonKnight did a slightly slower strat for this giant side hopper there.
Yeah. Herc getting a zero beam, skipping the red X, and PhazonKnight picking up that safety E-tank that you will see runners typically get if they're not very comfortable with the low E-tank count that a optimal 80% would have.
Would optimal 80% pick up any E-tanks?
It would pick up 2. It skips the... Oh! PhazonKnight getting swallowed by Zazabi. It's going to cost him some time. But you would skip the Yakuza E-tank.
So the reason to get the E-tanks is for the Mega X, right?
That's right, yeah. You want to be able to get inside its hitbox for maximum damage.
So similar to the reason why we pick up an area chain in Zero Mission at 80%?
Yeah, pretty much. And now Herc has a very strong lead thanks to a poor boss fight for PhazonKnight. Keep in mind, guys, that this is the point where Hercules died in their previous race. Let's see if Herc learned from his mistakes here and will take this room safely. And he gets through. PhazonKnight's turn. Let's see if he'll provoke the sacks or just wait for it to leave.
Shame.
Yeah. We need to have somebody do a sack skip in the tournament.
Whenever I hear somebody say sack skip, I hear sex skip, which is always entertaining.
Oh, PhazonKnight having issues wall jumping there. It's going to cost him even more time. He's already behind considerably after that boss fight. It's going to take a lot of catching up for PhazonKnight, while all Herc has to do is maintain whatever pace he's got going on. I think he should be able to win it with this kind of pace.
What was that? That was some weird platforming by PK. Just goes on the left side of the elevator.
I think he's nervous. I don't know.
We do have a pretty legendary commentary combo. That's probably why he's nervous.
Yeah, PhazonKnight in the last race that they had was basically guaranteed the win because Hercules died at Sector 2, putting him 20 minutes behind. But, however, PhazonKnight himself died very late in the game against Box 2. So they were forced to reschedule and do a rematch because of time constraints.
All PK had to do there was save the game and do whatever
That's
one.
all he had to do, yep.
Of course, we won't see any safety saves unless one of them dies. Saving costs like 7 seconds, I think.
I think for Hercules, if he's far enough ahead and if he's watching the race, he may choose to save at the ship just before Yakuza. If you have enough time to do that, then it's definitely a very good option. Just in case anything bad happens. Hercules has already died to Ridley once in this tournament, and he's also died to Xbox or Box 2 at SGDQ. So, you know, things can go wrong, and it would be in Herc's best interest to get a safety save somewhere.
I wonder if anybody is going to try this fancy strat versus the boss here, Saris.
It's still a new strat, and I'm trying really hard to advertise it.
Yeah,
So,
it's only the first time I saw it recently.
Hercules doing a pause buffer to look at Saris's pattern.
Pause
Get that
buffers
2
are
seconds.
disgusting.
Yeah. Let's see if so PhazonKnight knows about the strat. Let's see if he'll do it. And it looks like he won't.
So how much time does this strat save anyway?
About half a second. But however, because you hit Saris half a second early, it means his speed booster also wears off half a second early. So the new strat is somewhat unfinished because you could go take it a step further by following Saris and hitting him as soon as he's vulnerable after speed booster. But that's a lot of guesswork because of the patterns.
Theoretically, could you just memorize everything and figure it out?
Yes, you can, but there is a third pattern that he does in which the second phase of that pattern is completely random. Herc getting low height, very nice. Let's see if PhazonKnight can do the same thing.
I remember back in the day, Curry Master, after lowering the water, he would do a diagonal spark. Is that slower?
Yeah, we found out that it's something like 20 to 40 frames slower.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, because like you don't need to have that speed booster for so long. We basically do the speed booster as if you would do a shine break, where you would press down the moment your speed booster is active, and we found out if you did that, then it's significantly faster than just running. Yeah, and you could easily lose that time advantage if you don't know where to start running from. Alright, so both runners now finished with Sector 4 and they're making their way to Sector 3 that Herc is already in. There's a really cool trick coming up here. It's a frame-perfect trick that involves storing a Shine Spark after falling from the air. You are allowed to keep a Shine Spark if you can press down on the same frame that Samus's foot touches the ground. Otherwise, you'll lose it. So let's see if Herc can do it. If he'll even attempt it. If you press down too early doing this, you won't break the speed booster blocks, and you'll be forced to go around. Oh, he tried it, but he didn't get it.
I've seen some people try to pause buffer to get that also.
I guess it makes sense if because primary timing is in-game time, and if you're trying to save in-game time, pause buffering is basically no punishment. Well, I take that back. You lose 1 frame every time you pause buffer.
Which still isn't very significant.
Yeah.
People could save a pretty hefty amount of time coming up if they did bob skip, which is not too bad if you pause buffer it.
Ooh, PhazonKnight lucky enough to break those speed booster pots, or else he would have had to run back. And I think Herc got that shine break. So yeah, bob skip does save you some time, but in races, RTA is the only thing you need to be concerned about. So having to do bob skip with pause buffering will save you, will lose you more time than you would just going up the normal way. Hercules actually has a kind of dangerously low missile count here coming up on Box. He has enough to kill Box, but after the Box fight, he might not have enough for Sector 6, so we'll keep an eye on that. PhazonKnight with more than enough missiles.
So,
because of the main deck he got.
Scotty found a new strategy for Box, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Herc is doing it, though.
No, it's still somewhat new, and a lot of the runners who do know the strat are actually hesitant to do it because it involves purposely taking damage, and if you can't do it right, you could die, or the fight could be longer than just doing it normally. So Herc, with not enough missiles here for Segno, he picks up the Green X and has exactly enough missiles, while PhazonKnight having difficulty climbing up on the ceiling ladder. Box is all the way to the left. He needs to lure it to the right or kill it there and lose a lot of time. So at this point, Herc has a very comfortable lead, entering Sector 6. And he does have 3 missiles, so he will be able to break the missile barrier coming up.
So if you don't have enough missiles, you have to pick up a missile tank early, right?
There are 2 choices. Because you don't want to pick up that missile tank until later, you could do a kind of easy Shine Spark chain to Shine Spark through the missile barrier. And the reason why you want to pick up the missiles as a last resort is because you have to wait for the bomb fuse, and Fusion has the slowest bomb fuse of all the Metroid games, and it's about 3 seconds long, and you don't want to wait for that. So instead, you would plant the bomb at the wall, break the missile barrier, and then come back for the missile when you're done killing Mega Corax. That is, if you even choose to pick that missile tank up anyway. I know that there are certain runners that don't get that missile tank at all and pick something else up. So Herc is on his way to the missile barrier. He has enough missiles for it, but he doesn't have enough health to survive running into the barrier. I've seen people die running right into the barrier. So Herc almost touches the barrier right before he kills it. That would have killed him outright, I think.
That would have been hilarious. These blue axes also deal a lot of damage, I think.
Yeah, they do exactly 69 damage, so if Herc's not careful, he will die touching these. He chose to Wow, that blue X was right in the middle, and he had no choice but to jump over it, and he knows that it would kill him.
That was scary.
Yeah.
Usually if your movement's good, you don't have to worry about the blue X's, right?
Right, except for that one blue X, that it is RNG. It can be in your way sometimes. PhazonKnight dropping the Shine Spark here, he's gonna have to run manually to the C-Tank.
I saw Scotty doing some different sack skip setup there.
Yeah, it's a newer, someone, well, Task does it, I think, but you can do it as a human, but it does involve very precise timing, and what it is that you have to jump over sacks the moment you get hit from the power bomb, otherwise sacks will just shoot at you and kill you. Herc not having a good Mega Corax fight, this could be PhazonKnight's chance to catch up. That was like a 6-shot Mega Core. The optimal fight's a 4-shot. And this is the reason why you need the E-Tanks that you have right now, so that you can jump right into the Mega Corax and do flare shot damage.
The Japanese version has a different Mega Corax than the English version, right?
No, they're the same.
Really?
The Japanese version, though, could give you issues in terms of the rubber band effect that it has. As you saw there on PhazonKnight's side, it didn't like bounce all the way back like the English version usually does. Instead, it just stood there or was just flying there. PhazonKnight getting a double-double. Definitely a better fight than Herc. At least a 4-shot, and he got a double-double, so he's gonna catch up here a little bit.
The enemy spawns here are always a little frustrating from what I remember.
Yeah, Sector 6, leaving Sector 6 is the worst of all the sectors because of the puffer RNG. Typically, enemies have between 1 or 2 starting points and 2 movement choices. But the puffer can start between 1 or 2 points, but also move in 4 intercardinal directions. So, like, it can get really annoying when you're trying to climb up that shaft or go to the missile pack that the puffer will be in your way. But it looks like both runners actually got through just fine. Now that the runners have the best looking suit in all of Metroid history, they'll be moving on to Sector 5, where their suit can withstand the extreme cold. And as you might expect, Sector 5, the cold sector, keeps the ice missiles.
Sector 5 is always a lot of fun. I remember seeing runners just forget where they're going in Sector 5 since you go there so often.
Yeah, and not only do you go there so often, you have to do loops around it. The first 2 times you're in Sector 5, you just do one giant lap around it. And then the 3rd time, which is Nightmare, you can finally just fly right through. I've got my fingers crossed for one of these runners forgetting to pick up the ice missiles.
Once you get the ice missiles, you have to rely more on charge beam, right?
Yeah, except for boss fights, you do use your charge beam more frequently because the fact that the ice missiles can no longer one-shot enemies. However, you will see the runners use ice missiles a lot in Sector 3, where they actually use it to make platforms out of the enemies. So far, so good for Hurt. PhazonKnight actually doing pretty well too for his skill level. PhazonKnight not forgetting to pick up the ice missiles here. He's gonna stop here at the data room while PhazonKnight unlocking the yellow doors. So runners are roughly 35-ish seconds apart at this point.
The room that PK just exited, that one's slightly different in the Japanese version, right? I remember there being one that's a little different.
No. All of the rooms are identical except for one in lower sector, or not lower sector 4, but regular sector 4.
Oh, okay, so it's in sector 4.
Yeah, it's the only one that's different because they patched a exploit, if you will. They patched an exploit to getting easy secret message. Herc will be the first one to initiate emergency in Sector 3. Meanwhile, PhazonKnight almost on his way there.
Don't you mean emergency and frankersy?
Emergency and dog. I don't know these emotes, man. It looks like a dog. So it's emergency and dog.
If you have one of Ross's emotes, that's also acceptable. Your Pokemon emote, that one's pretty fun.
I guess I'll put it in the chat for everyone to see.
Emergency in Sector 3. Emergency in Sector 3. Emergency in Sector 3.
Not trying to sell out or anything. So you have 6 minutes to figure out what's going on and stop the main boiler explosion.
The main blah 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 explosion.
Yeah, the main explosion.
Is this timer even a threat casually?
If you don't know where you're going, yes, because you could go up. Like the entire Sector 3 is still accessible, so you could still go up as if you're going to super missiles and not know where you're going. But yeah, I mean, if you do know where you're going, 6 minutes is a lot of time, especially since the timer does not count door transitions and other stuff. Herc forgetting to freeze that side hopper. I don't think he has enough room to get this. Oh, he does. Very nice, and that zero beam. He sinks the first missile. He gets a double there, so it would be a 3-round. Pretty good time there for Herc with a zero beam. Let's see if Phazon can get a better time. It's all gonna rely. It's all actually gonna depend on the beam he gets here. Oh, he accidentally kills the side hopper. He's gonna have to go around the long way. And he gets a beam.
I remember here at the spot where Herc is at, Kadum went soft lock because
yeah, I remember seeing that. So ice has like strange properties, and I'm sure you know this too, Sam, with Zero Mission, where things can go wrong with ice and how it works. How you interact with frozen enemies could do really weird things, like put you out of bounds or clip you through walls and basically soft lock you. But fortunately, we don't really get that many incidents with ice, other than like Kadum. he kills the. So what I remember what happened was he froze that stretchy, and then he stands on it and kills it at the same time. And then he morphed, and then he's basically floating midair and couldn't get off.
It's the same effect as in Zero Mission, right?
Yeah.
Same kind of property.
Yeah.
It doesn't work if you blow up your bomb though in Fusion for some reason. Like in Zero Mission, if you blow up your bomb and unmorph on the same frame, you can trigger that, but it doesn't work in Fusion.
Yeah.
This stretchy room is really cool.
It is, yeah. Getting a nice climb here looks really cool, but unfortunately, PhazonKnight thought this was Super Metroid and thought he could wall jump off frozen enemies, but you cannot in Fusion, and he's also in danger of dying. But I think he'll be alright. PhazonKnight is definitely not out of the woods yet with the health that he has, because from this point all the way up to the point where you go to the ship, you're not going to get any kind of refill. Actually, there's only one, and it's the strange colored slug right after the SAX encounter. If PhazonKnight manages to miss getting that and has low health, he'll be in danger for the spitter room coming up, because the spitters do a lot of damage. I think it's like 80 or something like that, the acid. So he needs to be very careful here, and he needs to be 100% sure to pick up that E-Tank. Herc not getting the shine break there, he's gonna have to climb the room traditionally. It's so funny seeing runners like Herc who mess up that shine break and just don't know how to handle that spitter or that stretchy room. I do know there is one runner who actually knows the backup strat in case they don't get that shine break, and it's Zonorous. Like, he handles it really well. But for other runners, like, not getting the shine break is such a shock that you don't know what to do.
So I wonder if PK is going to do the impossible strat.
I don't think so.
I know Herc did the easier strat but failed it.
Oh wait, no. I thought he was actually going to try it.
It looks like, right?
Yeah, you can grab that ledge if you jump extend properly, but it looks like Phazon was not able to do it.
PK does get the shine charge.
Oh no,
Ooh.
but he does not get the shine spark. So he'll have to also climb up manually.
He did it a little more cleanly than Herc did.
Yeah, he definitely did it a lot faster than Herc. Herc was just like all over the place.
So the text we just read talked about how sexy Adam is and how much he wants Samus.
Yes. I couldn't read it, it was just too fast.
Can you even read Japanese?
If I run it through Google Translate, I can.
You should do that and try to pronounce Japanese words. That would be entertaining. Ross is known for his excellent French grammar.
Yes.
And pronunciation, of course. So can you explain how that wall jump works after the shine spark?
The wall jump after the shine. Okay, yeah. So after doing your shine spark, if you do a horizontal shine spark, you do have the choice of holding A to immediately execute a jump from the shine spark, and it doesn't matter whether or not Samus's foot is touching the wall. So, for example, if for some reason Samus shine spark into a 1-pixel block and it stops the shine spark, you could, in theory, hold A and start a jump from there.
Yeah, that's a weird mechanic, really.
Yeah, I think it's unique to Fusion only. Because I know you can't do it in Zero Mission, and neither can you do it in SM. But SM does give you the shadow thing that can damage enemies. So Herc picking up the power bomb and is on his way to the ship to talk to Adam, because Samus misses Adam so much that she has to talk to him every 2 minutes of this game. All right, really important for Phazon right now. Is he going to get that red X or not? And if not, he's going to be in trouble for the spitter room coming up. So it looks like he does get it, and he'll be just fine. The spitter room I mentioned is coming up on Herc's side in like maybe a minute and a half from now. Meanwhile, Phazon is on his way out of Sector 5 to go to the ship.
PK having some problems with his movement, so he's losing a bit of time here.
Yeah. I think it's nerves. I really do.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, overall, Herc has had less of these things, and I mean, I think he's a better runner, so that's mostly why he would avoid those platforming mistakes more often.
So
what was that quote Monkey had?
Whew, Herc almost dead, taking 3 hits from the spitters. So they do a lot of damage.
Do you happen to remember Monkey's quote a little while ago, Ross?
About...
good runners versus bad runners. I don't remember the exact quote though.
I don't remember. Herc surviving by the skin of his teeth. Those spitters really put some damage on him. I think he picked up a few yellow X's while getting hit, so it kind of maybe is the reason why he's alive right now, honestly. Let's see if PhazonKnight has any better luck here. He does have an extra E-tank, so it's not as critical. As long as you don't take like 5 hits or something, you should be alright. Oh, Phazon deciding to take it very safe here, using power bombs to clear the way, but he still gets hit from the spitters, and he will not get that speed booster. And unfortunately, we'll have to finish the game with 50 missiles as opposed to his preferred 45. Meanwhile, HerculesBenchpress now fighting Yakuza, one of the other RNG heavy boss.
Are we gonna see a 4-round Yakuza?
3 rounds. I was hoping for 4. Oh, Herc is actually very low on health. I don't know what happened, but he is.
I'm done.
He needs to be careful. And Herc is in the voice chat. I don't know what's going on.
PK, go back and save.
Yeah, please, just put me out of my misery. I don't want to play this game anymore.
GG, said Herc, and he is in the commentary channel with us now.
Favorite task while
Well, the better runner won, so.
was I ahead of him?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're really far ahead of them.
Of course I was.
Phazon is at the eye door right now for Yakuza.
I would have decimated him.
And he gets a 3-beam.
Once I got hit by every single spitter, I should have grabbed that E-tank, but I said screw it. I'll either go out with style or I'll look like a champion, and I. So.
Ooh. PhazonKnight not really having a good Yakuza fight himself, but he does recover. And as I say that, he takes like 5 hits in a row. Also in danger of dying here, but Yakuza's also low on health. And he manages to get through.
Even if he does die, I'm not restarting.
PK gets 1 double in this Corex fight. It'd be very wise for PK right now to save the game.
So how does it feel to have died so often, Herc?
Listen, man, I hadn't played the game in forever. I don't know. It just kind of, a lot of things at one time kind of compounded in like personal life and having to like run other tournaments. So it kind of was, you know, allow me to like practice. So it made things a little hard, but
hey, as long as the Eagles won, right?
listen, man, as long as like I thought I would have fun playing this again, because I did like a few months ago, but I don't know. It's just there's too much going on for me right now to be able to like sit down and actually enjoy the game, which really sucks, honestly, because I love this game.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like we had there weren't that many entrants as we were expecting. Like runners like Eagle, you know, Dragon Fangs and the like didn't even sign up. So it's definitely understandable if there are other things that need to be taken care of.
Other what?
Other things.
Down. This is loud. I'm pretty sure Phazon's audio is going to be used. I don't want to blow out my eardrums.
So it looks like Herc is actually catching up in blazing fashion already at Zazby after his death. Let's see here what kind of RNG he's going to get for this fight.
Of course. Don't ignore that. Ignore that little bit there. And that's normal.
The space jumping in this game is so painful. If you play any other Metroid game.
Well, yeah. The downward velocity as well to like register the next one, and even by then it's like you've already lost the majority of your height, which kind of sucks. Sack skip in fashion. Be able to do sack skip like I do it because I do it in style.
Wow, did you see that? Herc with the quadruple missile shot there on the Corax. Really high skilled gameplay here for Herc as he tries to catch up. Meanwhile,
bro, I am the best. I am the best video gamer.
Let's see. Oh, Herc decides to do sack skip. That's probably the fastest sack skip I've ever seen.
It's because I have speed booster. I mean, my running shoes from Pokemon Fire Red.
Meanwhile, PhazonKnight finishing up Natori and is on his way to Sector 5. Will he do the Nightmare Space Cruise? Wait, more importantly, will he save? He still hasn't saved yet. And it'd be extremely wise, once again, hint hint, to save the game as he passes through the save room.
Guys, he will still win. But I am an admin, and I can make it so.
But what if he forfeits?
Once.
What if PhazonKnight is the kind of guy who just cannot take a forfeit from his opponent and also forfeits?
Hey, man.
Is
Yeah,
PK from Hufflepuff, where they want to fight?
I have to like play this game more. Much going on, like there's too much going on in my personal life to have to like deal with playing this game. Like I love this game, it's fun, but man, is it a commitment? Just like any tournament, really. And it's unfortunate that like away. Oh, don't worry about me, just doing reverse Saris.
Oh, PhazonKnight drops the speed booster here. He's gonna have to do the backup Shine Spark. Looks like he gets it.
So what are you eating, Herc? Looks like you're munching on something tasty.
I haven't eaten dinner yet. This is my dinner right now.
You know what's really interesting? Fully powered Samus's sprite is that of Super Metroid's Varia suit. But Varia suit does not allow you to move freely in water. But
Oh, that's my favorite.
as you can see,
What?
Samus is moving
Samus
freely.
slides around on the button.
Oh yeah, that one. PhazonKnight picking up that extra E-Tank for more safety as he starts to fight for Nightmare.
Alright, I have control over the bracket. Here, hang on.
Don't mod abuse.
Oh.
What the fuck was that on the right side? Excuse the language, but what the hell?
Yeah, that's the slide booster. It's unique to Fusion. PhazonKnight finishing off Nightmare. Pretty good execution there. Let's see if he gets this triple double. He misses the first attempt. He gets it on the second attempt. And let's see here. It's gonna look like just one double for PK.
I'm glitching right now. I'm live splicing at the moment. So that's what you're seeing on the right side is just me splicing in real time. It's pretty... Ask me. Jesus, cheeses are delicious. Whoa, PhazonKnight with the slow 5-shot. Yeah.
So has PK saved yet? I don't think he did. Oh, PhazonKnight unlocking the red doors. Meanwhile, Herc unlocking security level 2. Herc is catching up really quickly. PhazonKnight wants to keep this lead. He's gonna have to clean up his movement here. Oh, Herc going for the bob skip, and he gets it. Nicely done there for Herc. Meanwhile, PhazonKnight navigating through lower sector 4, which is somewhat dangerous, but he does have 5 E-Tanks. PhazonKnight should have no issues here.
I think before the race started, PK was saying that he hoped that he had good RNG and that Herc would die, so he got one of his wishes.
Yeah, he got at least one of it, yeah.
Half of it, that's as much as he could ask for.
The more important one was you dying for his victory anyway.
I probably would have styled on him and just totally like ran him into the ground if I didn't die. It's in his benefit that I died. He actually has the time to play this game and probably wants to go far in the tournament. So I may as well just let him do that. That death was intentional, by the way.
100% premeditated.
Mm-hmm. He actually paid me to do it, which is pretty nice.
Collusion? What is this? Also, you need to come to my house and give me those cheeses.
Some.
Not too far now for PhazonKnight between here and the end. We're looking at about 15 to 20 more minutes. All he has to do is stay alive. And this race will be in the bag. Meanwhile, Herc desperately trying to catch up with his wild bunny hops.
He's snacking on some Cheez-Its right now.
on his way to Sector 6. Let's see how he navigates through Sector 6 this time around.
Look, it plays itself. It's pretty great. And you. And that one.
Both runners are actually in Sector 6 right now, however, at different points in the game.
My fake attempt to try to manipulate RNG at Ceres. I mean that, like seriously.
Alright, coming up for PhazonKnight is the boss that killed him in the last race. Let's see if he learned his lesson and will actually kill Xbox.
Is he going to perform the Red Ring of Death on Xbox?
Maybe.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Really nice Mega Core X fight there for Herc, and he gets that initial double.
No entry.
And he gets the follow-up quadruple, killing the Core X with the sweet spot. Meanwhile, PhazonKnight, pretty clean fight so far, although not the best fight. It's still a flawless victory with no hits. PhazonKnight did learn his lesson and will get away with the weight beam here shortly.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization.
What's that? Warning.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Oh, look at that. Synchronized Metroid dancing.
60 seconds.
This synchronized Metroid dancing is slower, isn't it?
Yes, because you jump through the door. But it is for swag.
Who cares about swag? Gotta go fast.
Everyone cares about swag.
Everyone except for me, apparently.
I'm gonna throw some word of the day for you here. The word is lambasted. Adam just finished lambasting Samus.
Dude, you should watch the report of the week.
The report of the week? Alright, PhazonKnight on his way to Ridley, which is about 2 bosses away from the end.
I just remember one time Biospark missed the ice shot and it only broke the first and last one. It was really weird.
That's happened to me once, actually, like 3 days ago or something. Alright, PhazonKnight with 5 tanks worth of health against one Screamy Boy. Who's going to win? Not really a good fight for PK right now, as he's not making full use of his wave beam. Optimally, you want the wave beam to run right across Ridley's chest for the most damage, but he does manage to get through and kill Ridley. No double there on the initial, no double there. This is one of the hardest cores to double, so I don't blame him for missing any of them, or all of them. PhazonKnight with all but SAX and the Omega Metroid left. Meanwhile, Herc doing emergency in Sector 3. Let's see what kind of time he gets here. He looks like he's on pretty good pace for a strong meltdown time. Looking pretty good so far on Herc's side. Wow, and Herc gets the wide beam at 5 minutes and 8 seconds left on Meltdown. I think that's like a world record time, actually. Typically, runners get like a 4:30 something, but 5:06 to stop Meltdown is unheard of. Herc is on a godlike pace right now.
I'm just too good.
Herc on the voice chatting with us while playing, doing all these difficult tricks. How do you do it, man?
I do my own race. It's too easy.
PK about to read us a bedtime story. And while that is going on, let us check in on HerculesBenchpress, who is now in the navigation room, just finishing up the meltdown, where he will have to go and rescue the animals.
What about that progress report on those cheeses that he was supposed to bring me?
Box is closed at the moment. Thinking about what I should be eating for dinner at this current moment. Okay, there we go. Around in this in its ass. I'm on Snorlax. That's where I'm sitting. Hope that answers your question there, bud. Was ever.
All right. The resident sleeper text is now over. Just a few more minutes left for PK, and he will be the winner of this race. Meanwhile, Hercules bench press waiting for the animals. Animals take such a long time. It doesn't look like he got good RNG either. As he makes his way out of the animals room, back down to the navigation room to talk to Samus, or Adam. At this point, I don't think that Hurt actually has time to catch up here. PhazonKnight might actually pull out the win, unless Hurt's got something up his sleeve, although I don't think he has.
Sleeve, all right.
Yeah, I mean...
Marty, if you press the space bar, you might be able to win this.
Alright, let's see. So I actually don't know if Phazon saved. Hopefully he kills SAX. It's not looking good so far, as he finally gets that stun lockdown. One more shot ought to do it. Or a few more.
Oh, the browser source crashed. Good job, OBS. What a good service.
Ooh, Phazon not finishing off the Omega SAX creature looking thing. Finally does, and reveals the core. Now, let's see if he can get a double here. He actually, I think he got one double. Let's see, one more hit ought to do it for him here. Or not, so he did not get any doubles.
Wouldn't you love to have that enemy as a pet?
It looks really interesting. PhazonKnight finally finishing off the Corex after the Corex dealing 300 health worth of damage.
Do you like this spinner bar that's happening on the right side? This sweet spinning loading action. I've got to load my run. It was complete with buffering. Makes the speed run really hard because you never know when it's going to be done buffering.
Hercules taking the pause buffer to new heights. Let's see if PK can get the low height here, and he does not.
SAX, even though he's already won. Come on, dude. They wanted to show the best fight in this task, and apparently it was not meant to be.
Herc, unable to move. I think something's wrong with this game. But PK finishes off Omega Metroid.
Here, maybe? I don't know.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Herc, I'm sorry. You had to die again on me.
I decided to skip the E-Tank because I said screw it. I just wasn't having fun playing it. Or Yakuza.
Ah.
I just wasn't having fun. Like, my beginning, I felt like I was in molasses, and then, like, I was able to clutch the fight, but I got hit by something stupid and died. So, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Good luck on whoever you play.
Oh, it's Destructor. Oh, I have to face Destructor.
Play me, but And I just even if I won, I would have just been dreading having to play it again. Unfortunately, like there's just too much going on in my life right now to a tournament like this.
Yeah, it's totally understandable. But GG to PhazonKnight, who did not die.
No, I was shocked how well I actually did at first, and then kind of completely fell apart a little bit, and especially at Sax, but otherwise I thought that was pretty solid.
Oh wait, why don't I just do this?
So PK advances and will face off against Destructor. What are your thoughts on that upcoming race, PK?
I'm very nervous.
Well, you know, Destructor did die in his last race, and it seems like every time you play against somebody, they die. Except me, of course.
Except you and Box.
Because I'm the best. But still. Who knows? I mean, Destructor did die in his last race. Maybe he'll do the same.
Sam, why are you impersonating me? I'm Ross.
Oh, I wanted to feel like a Canadian.
You mean like an American?
An American, yes. An American Canadian.
But I'm not real American. I'm only from Guam.
Well, either way, GG, both runners. Actually, don't have a race until Thursday, where it will be Slendermax versus Mr. Shasta. And it looks like it's going to be round 3 of losers bracket, where the winner will face off against Monkey SMB. Should be a very interesting race. I believe both runners have very similar times.
50, which is a PB for me.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh,
Taking
disgusting.
PBs.
Yeah, even with that 5th E-Tank.
Gross.
Yeah, I went from
Bang.
minus 20 to plus 8 because of Yakuza, and then finished with a minus 45 somehow.
Did you get to plus 8? Oh wait, 8 seconds?
I don't know.
Looking at it.
And coming up on Speed Gaming 3, which is this channel, we have nothing until 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock p.m. on Speed Gaming 3, we have the Final Fantasy 1 race between Forsyth and Shin Breaker 7 here on Speed Gaming 3. Meanwhile, 8 o'clock, Speed Gaming 1, Link to the Past Key Sanity, Speed Gaming 2, Link to the Past No Major Glitches, and that will be it on the schedule. But that is all I have. My name is Rossu123. You can call me Rossu123. Alongside me is Sam and PhazonKnight and Hercules, who just left the chat. Any last comments from you guys?
Yeah, you can follow me at Rossu123, and you should subscribe to me too.
Oh god. No, but
All right.
thanks for the commentary.
Thank you. And thank you all to the viewers. Thank you to Speed Gaming staff for hosting us. Have a good night, and we will see you again on Thursday.